Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. Today's episode, we're going to talk about, are they coming for your kids? Now, this subject, at first glance or first listening to it, might seem like a bit of a stretch. I know initially some people are like, that's never going to happen. I know some people are like, it's definitely going to happen. I know some people are like, not in our lifetime. But then when you start looking at what's going on in Australia, you start to think, holy shit. When you start seeing judges step in and take a kid away from the parents because the kid wants the vaccine, you know that, all right, the possibility is there. If more kids want the vaccine, but the parents don't want the kids to get the vaccine, and then the judge takes the kid away. Now, normally you take the kid out of a dangerous situation, but this judge in Boston, which I'm going to get to in a little bit, took the kid out of the household because the parents didn't want the kid to take the vaccine, but the kid wants to take the vaccine. That's not a dangerous situation. That's just them at odds over bullshit. But the judge deemed it necessary to do so. Now, let's talk about this case a little bit. This kid, 14-year-old kid, I'm not sure if it's a girl or boy, not that it matters, wants to take the vaccine. The mother, who is a biotech engineer, a senior executive in the biotech engineer company, doesn't want their daughter or her daughter to take the vaccine. With that being said, if the mother, who's a biotech engineer, senior executive, who has done her research and knows about the vaccine, doesn't want her daughter taking it because she read the data, this is what the mother said, and she knows what's in it, that means, that speaks volumes, guys. If a lady who works for a biotech company and knows what's in the vaccine doesn't want her daughter to take it, that speaks volumes in itself. So they should start with that. Be like, all right, if this lady doesn't want her daughter to take it and she knows the research, she's done the research, she's seen the data, and it's what the mother said to the judge, I've seen the data. That speaks volumes, guys. That's the fucking elephant in the room screaming at everyone in there that something's wrong. Now, according to the mother's lawyer, this is what the lawyer said. She is highly informed. She made the decision not to vaccinate her child based upon the data. All right, guys? I mean, I don't know how much more of that I need to beat in a lot of people's heads. If this mother is against it and she's read the data and she knows about it, then something clearly isn't right. But that's not the point of this whole thing. The point is, now the judge overstepped. Like the judges around America are overstepping by telling criminals, I hate to say this, guys, by telling criminals, either you take the vaccine and get probation, or you don't take the vaccine and you get a couple months or a year in jail. They're holding the vaccine over criminals' heads to get them less time, guys. That's overstepping. Taking a kid out of a household that's not a dangerous situation is overstepping. Now, I couldn't find any more update on this case as the case started back in early August. August 7th, I think, or maybe August 3rd. That's when I first heard about it. So I haven't heard any updates on this. But the interesting thing is, guys, they're having the inventor, Robert Malone, of the mRNA testify at this case. That is some high-profile shit if you're having the inventor of mRNA testify at this measly little hearing. Now, guys, let's talk about what's going on in Australia. Now, Australia, there's a lot going on. But we're not going to talk about the medical apartheid. We're not going to talk about the restrictions and all that shit that's going on there. We're going to talk about what they're doing to the kids. Now, there was this guy that made an announcement about taking 24,000 students, or kids rather, sorry, into a stadium to get inoculated. The suspicious part about that whole thing, guys, is that, first of all, 24,000 students in a stadium with no parents. Parents are not allowed. The medical officer, or this guy here, I'm not sure what he is, states that you do not have to worry, your kids are in good hands. No, your kids are not in good hands. Your kids are never in good hands when there's 24,000 other kids in there. This is not about the shot, guys. This is not about the COVID. It's about your kids being alone with 24,000 other kids and however many cops or military guys that are in there as well. So that's the more concerning part. Forget about the shot and forget about the COVID for a second. Your kids are going into a stadium with other adults, you don't know who the fuck they are, other doctors and nurses, other cops and military personnel. That is the problem. And yet this guy is saying, well, you guys, the parents are not allowed, but they will be taken care of. They will have milk and cookies or some crazy shit like that. Some kind of snack he mentioned. Like fucking snacks are gonna be like, oh, my kids are gonna be away from me, I don't trust you guys. And then he goes, well, they're gonna have milk and cookies. Oh, that makes it all fucking better. Makes it all fucking better for my kids to be away from me in a place I can't even see them, but milk and cookies are gonna make it all better. When you have a politician, or again, this asshole here, say they'll be in good hands, milk and cookies, no parents allowed, something screams out wrong and dangerous. It's not sitting well, guys, when they start pushing this shit and they start making milk and cookies the savior of you being comfortable. Oh, you don't feel comfortable? We'll have milk and cookies. Okay, man, that's all right. Good. Then everything's good now. Everything's copacetic because milk and cookies and snacks and treats. Bad form, guys. There is no reason for 24,000 kids to be in a stadium getting inoculated without the parents. Zero. The reason why they're doing that is probably because they don't want the parents to A, put up a fight, B, be there watching their kids cry, or C, first of all, forget C. First of all, you should not be handing your kids into anybody. So 24,000 kids are lining up. That means 24,000 parents, right? I guess, maybe double that. Let's say 48,000 parents are being assholes letting their kids go to this. That's the first and foremost. That should actually be the red flag. Why the fuck are so many parents allowing this to happen? Now, if they are doing it by force, guess what happens next, guys? You fight. Now, people are like, well, Australia doesn't have any weapons. Yeah, they do. They have some weapons. They have enough to make a difference, right? And if they're taking your kids away, guys, the only thing left is to fight. Anyway, that being said, guys, can this happen in the United States? It's happening. It happened in one aspect. Let's keep an eye if it happens in other aspects, in other states, in other cities. That's where we have to look at. Yes, it happened in Boston. That's where the case was, by the way. It was in Boston. So we have to keep abreast of what's going on there. But we also have to keep abreast to see if it happens anywhere else in the country. Because if it starts happening here and there, guys, that means sooner or later, politicians are going to be like, well, if judges are already doing it without us saying it, if we say it and we implement it, who's going to fight against it? So yes, it could happen here. That's the answer to that question. Anyway, guys, this is the Angryprepper. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to this channel. You can also head over to the Angry Truths channel. Like and subscribe to that. And if you want to follow on social media, look in the description section below and follow me on those social media accounts there. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching.